You've probably seen the headlines. Inflation is cooling, prices are stabilizing, and the economy is improving. But for millions of Americans, that narrative doesn't match reality. Paychecks still feel stretched thin, and everyday expenses continue to bite. The disconnect comes down to a critical distinction. Inflation is not the same as affordability. Inflation measures the rate of change in prices, not the level of prices themselves. When inflation drops from 8% to 3%, it does not mean prices are falling. It means they are still rising, just more slowly. Since early 2020, cumulative inflation in the US has exceeded 20% according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. That means a basket of goods that cost $100 a few years ago now cost more than $120. And those higher costs are now the baseline. Affordability, by construct, reflects whether households can relatively and realistically keep up with those higher costs. This is where the strain becomes visible. Medium rent prices have risen roughly 25 to 30% nationally since 2020, with some metro areas seeing even sharper increases. Grocery prices remain about 20% higher than pre-pandemic levels, and auto insurance premiums have surged over 20%. In some cities, 30% in the past 2 years alone. Meanwhile, real wage growth, adjusted for inflation, has only recently turned slightly positive after several years of decline. The result is a cumulative squeeze, even if wages have increased normally. A household might be earning more on paper, but still losing ground in practical purchasing power. According to recent surveys, over 60% of Americans report living paycheck to paycheck, and nearly half say they could not comfortably live or cover a $1,000 emergency expense. This gap between economic indicators and lived experience is what can be described as human strain. The real-world pressure people feel when costs outpace stability. This is not captured fully by inflation reports or GDP growth. It shows up in delayed medical care, rising credit card balances, and shrinking savings rates. The more important question, then, is not whether inflation is declining. It is whether people can afford the same standard of living they once had. For a significant share of households, the answer is still no. And that is why, despite improving macroeconomic data, financial strain remains deeply and persistently real.